Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Silly Saturday Soulstone Survivor video. Today we have a silly build for you. It is a build that you can push the Titan Hunt cycles with. We're going to do that, but a lot of you have been asking for me to do a long Titan Hunt video, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're still on +3, we are on the final level before we move over to +4. Also something interesting to note, check the colors actually change each different plus level of the sigil, so just in case you know something silly that you may not have realized, but that's something cool, a little detail over there that makes it a little bit fun. So over here we started off with the weapon expert, reroll mastery and unconventional start. The only reason we take unconventional start is it makes us start the game with fiery blades, which is exactly what we want on the spell blade. So we use his 4th weapon so we can get fiery blades from the very start. We run divine legacy, devastating blow and focused mind. We skip active skills, and the most important thing now is to scale as much burn as humanly possible into the build. So first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking Broken for Shattered, we're going to take Mesa Head for Exposed, and we're going to take the Cobalt Brothers, which we'll actually start with for both Devastated, and then also we'll grab eventually Slow to Brittle from them as well. So this is going to be really crazy. It's a really fun little build. You don't have to worry about your Ascension either, because it doesn't really provide us with any damage that we need. You could do this on other characters, like if you wanted to do this on the Machinist, you could do it with the Machinist's fire weapon, and that way you can also grab yourself the weakness to fragility from the Mesa Head Titan Hunt, and that's also just a little bit of extra damage or whatever the case may be, but it does become a little bit less than, or a little bit more than just the fiery blades with that, because that artifact power will be doing quite a lot of work on its own. So that's why I didn't really do it this time. But over here we're going to grab cast frequency. We're also going to take expansives. Now last time I did this and I went to the Titan Lord Vial 11 with this in half an hour, I actually did not take area of effect, and when I was playing that I actually realized that was actually a massive mistake. We want to get area of effect on this because area of effect helps these swords hit more enemies throughout the gameplay, so do try and keep expansive there. You do want to have a little bit of area of effect. We also want to try and get as much block and armor as possible. We don't need the burn to deal damage, so we're not going to grab that just yet. A little bit later when we have nothing better to grab, we'll maybe grab some of those, but for right now we don't even look at them. Alright, more area of effect. We'll only take them when they are a higher rarity, so rare or epic. Otherwise, uncommons and commons we don't really care about too much. Most important stat is going to be multicast and then burn stacks, but until we get there we don't have to worry too much. We do have divine legacy and we do have reroll mastery, so we will be able to see them very often. Another thing we're going to look for is a burn to slow, because we want to grab as much quantity is also very important, and lethality, but quantity we're going to get as many as possible with fiery blades, and we're also going to try our best to get disarray, so we can get disarray to disoriented. Now the one thing that's really nice about fiery blades is they actually have something called cunning. Cunning is a buff that the minions get that makes it so that they focus bosses and elites over anything else. So when it comes to boss fights, as you can see, they are going to focus on those bosses and you don't have to worry about anything but surviving. Damage increase, beautiful. Some movement speed is good. Health over here, block, banish leviathans, a nice epic expansive, a nice rare crit, grab ourselves the block again, some armor, more crit, and we don't need any of these, so we'll banish them. Multicast chance is beautiful as well. We do need to be a bit more careful. You saw just how much damage we took there from the bosses, so that is why it's very important for us to get the HP, to get the block and the armor as well. And you can see they are focusing on the elites, but things are going to get a lot better once we get the multicast chance, once we get everything else. Once we get to level 25 as well, we will be able to obviously pick up a whole lot more damage as well as numbers. We should be there very soon. 2 more levels. Alright, critical strikes apply burn, more burning and more damage. And here's the legendaries. Now this is the only 2 legendaries we're going to get for the entire round. So what happens is every time the third one will be of epic quality. Over here we actually got quite lucky. It was an epic relentless, so that was actually really good. But we do get +2 to fiery blades, and that makes it extremely powerful because each time we get a brand new fiery blades, they're going to deal more and more damage because each one of them has their own individual damage, and they just get stronger and stronger. Oh man, okay, we actually found cold, burn to slow. Beautiful to find that nice and early. Grab relentless. We go, oh, that's not even a 25 level one. That's beautiful. Burn. And now we're on 11 of them. So you're going to see just how quickly this deals with the boss fight over here compared to some other builds that we've played with. Remember, this is also on the hardest difficulty I've done just yet. So any video you've watched up until now has actually been easier than what this is in terms of HP scaling, damage, and things like that. So this boss actually has far more HP than they usually have, and look how quickly we dealt with them. Okay, so first thing we wanted is to grab ourselves the devastation. Beautiful. We can get slow to brittle, which will go from this character as well, since we do have that, but I believe we need 1 more slow stack, and then we will be good. But we're going to grab shattered over here. We're going to grab exposed. Like I mentioned, if you grab the machinist, you can just grab yourself fragility from weakness. Also very powerful. Critical strikes apply burn. Beautiful. We want as much burn as possible. And then because we are on Sigil 5, we do get the the Void King's passive. I'm probably going to grab Wounded, just because of the way that wound works, and we'll be able to apply even more burn stacks with it. But fragility would also be a really good stacking or decent passive to go for. Alright, there's the slow. We're gonna actually, do we even need powerful strikes? No, because we're gonna get the damage from there. Some more movement speed, multicast. Over here, oof, this is it's quite scary. We're actually gonna go with the crit damage, normal damage. Banish that, we don't need it, and a slow. Now slow is actually quite decent on this because what it does is slow down enemies' movement speed, which they're going to get quite a lot of later, so having some slow in the build is going to be good. You don't need that much because we're just going to go slow to disarray, that's the whole point to it, but we do want to have slow in the build so that we can have that little bit of extra defense. Now this passive is actually amazing. I did discuss this with the developer, and it was mentioned that the way that it works is all damage will first be reduced using armor as a percentage, so we take 38% less damage, and then the damage reduction calculation is entered into the mix. So first we make sure that we have the damage reduction from armor percentage, and then we get the damage reduction as a flat thing from that number. So if you get that to like 10, 20, even like 50, if you're really lucky, you can take a whole lot less damage, especially if you're able to get your armor reduction to like 90% or 95%, that some builds can't do that. So imagine now, instead of taking a whole lot of damage, you actually take absolutely no damage, especially if you want to do like an Immortal Man build or something like that. Alright, slow to disarray, there we go, we don't need it anymore. For this, we're just going to grab the multicast and the expansive because I don't have a lot of... Well, there we go, that worked. We can grab that. More movement speed. I don't need that much disarray, we just needed it for the disarray to disoriented. So grabbing ourselves critical hit chance will be very strong. Grabbing some merciless is going to be very good as well for us. But we don't need that much disarray until we get to a point where we don't need anything else really for the build. Like stacking burn is the only thing that we can do, as well as damage and things like that. Eventually we're going to end up getting rid of everything. Alright, Incinerate, very, very powerful here. I'm going to grab the block. A lot of people are going to probably not like the fact that I don't go for the Swift. I don't believe I need that much Swift. I'm quite good at dodging skills anyway. I say that and I'm probably going to get hit by something because I don't have a dodge. But I think I'm pretty good at dodging skills, so we'll see. Anyway, our damage is very, very powerful right now, so I'm not worried whether I get... I don't think we're going to get hit. Okay, a magnetic, merciless, multicast there, another magnetic, HP, area, damage. Look, Swift came back, but we got lethality. Sorry guys, it's not happening, okay? We also don't need that much cast frequency because once they're up, they last for a really long time, 25 seconds. And like I mentioned, we just need burn and damage. Okay, there's a burn. Let's re-roll that. We get ourselves armor. Burn being the most best thing. There's a critical strikes, apply slow. That's fine. It's going to help with applying disarray. Health. Beautiful. Try and get ourselves to as much health as possible. Don't have nearly enough fiery blades. But we will work on cast frequency for it anyway. Alright, and there you go. Boss is down. Oh, we actually picked up a... Yeah, we picked up a portal over here. We don't need it to do for the Brokenth, but we'll grab it anyway because of the free XP. I mean, we're 2 levels off of a Divine Legacy upgrade, which means that we'll probably get another one from this. So we only needed 27 levels in total from here, which it looks like we're most likely going to get because we got quite a lot of magnetic upgrades. Yep. There you go. 2 Divine Legacy upgrades for us, so that's massive. Alright, there's the first one, so we're actually going to just grab the Fiery Blades for now. There's Burn. We're going to reroll. Cast frequency's fine. Reroll again. Magnetic's good. I'm going to take this, and there's a reason for it. Now, last time I did this, we didn't... Ooh, that's good, that's good. I want to try and get ourselves a little bit of burn so that we can get ourselves, I mean, a little bit of bleed. I've got 2 of them, so I don't need more. We can banish that. What I'm looking for is to get ourselves as much, not bleed, we're actually looking for something over bleed, but we want to go bleed to doom and then doom to poison, or the other way around, sorry, bleed to poison, and then we don't need the doom. So we're just looking for some poison now. And we'll be in a fantastic spot. So over here, we're going to take the multicast this time. We can reroll. And you saw that I took a whack ton of, what's the wording? Burn stacks. So we are able to burn a whole lot more now. It's not about how many stacks we actually, how much burn damage we do. It's about how many stacks we can apply. Because the more we can apply, the more damage they're going to do. And what's really nice is the way that the damage calculation works in this game, even though Fiery Blades do not apply burn themselves, the way that it works is they stack the burn before the damage calculation occurs. So even on the very first fight or the very first hit, if that stacks burn, they'll deal damage based on how many burn stacks they stacked on the very first hit. But yeah, they apply their own burn and then they deal damage based on the amount of burn that they apply. So still very, very strong over there. Alright, let's re-roll. We get disarray. There's a dash finally. We can go crit, apply burn as well. We are on 101% crit, so we definitely critting. And the next thing we can do is look to try and get to 200% if possible. But we've got disarray. We've got poison coming very, very soon, hopefully. And then we can go poison to dazed. We've got the dazed to disarray, which we can go and grab. We're just waiting for the other one. Okay, I'm going to grab damage over there. We want as much as possible because that's going to increase how much damage per stack we do as well. It also increases the amount of burn that they're going to be applying. Not stack-wise, but damage-wise. And we're already done, look at that. Took us no time. You would not feel or think that this was +3 difficulty.
Void fragment claimed. The protection will break.
Okay, let's go with lethality. Burn to slow, we don't need. Actually, I don't even need them to do damage, but we won't get rid of it just yet. Expansive's good. There's critical strike, supply, bleed, so we should be able to find poison now. I mean, we've got 4 sources or 3 sources of bleed, so we should definitely find bleed to poison. I also like this build because we don't have to worry about visuals. It's literally just the swords. Okay. Pretty easy. We're going to go for exposed on hit. Now we can go do the kobolds again. They're going to give us slow to brittle as well as another devastation rune. A devastating damage. Alright, so let me explain how multicast works on summons, because this is a question that does get asked quite a lot. So there's 2 things that get affected by multicast and cast frequency. 1, increasing the cast frequency increases the casting of the actual summon. So the swords will swing a lot faster, they'll attack a lot faster. That's what cast frequency does. Multicast works the same way. Cast frequency before we get into multicast is going to make them summon faster. So they've got a 5.5 second cooldown before they get summoned, and they last for 25 seconds. Every 5.5 seconds, all of them that are already out that haven't died are going to get fully healed if I'm at the max amount of units. If I'm not at the max amount of units, then more units will be spawned until you're at the max amount. And then when you're at the max amount, those that are out already will get fully healed and keep going. Have their cooldown or duration refreshed. So that's what cooldown does for your summons. Now multicast works a similar way. They're going to attack the same way like a spell would normally multicast. Instead of swinging once and that swing hitting once, it will multicast and it will hit multiple times. The other thing that happens is, as you can see, units per cast, the max is 14. We can have 18 maximum units in total. So every time I cast them, they cool down at 5.5 seconds. It's going to cast 14 swords at a single time. Multicast, if we have enough of it, is going to double that. So instead of casting 14, we will then cast 28 of them, or 18 in this case, because that's the limit. So multicast is actually very, very, very good for summon skills, because you're able to get all of your summons out a whole lot faster than you otherwise would have been able to. So that's why we do it. Over here, we're going to grab the incinerate. Beautiful. And that's just extra damage for free. Okay, still not creating the bleed to poison, which is a bit sad.
Fragments obtained. Keep moving.
Dismemberment, disarray, cast frequency, lethality, block, multicast, damage. Again, damage, most important with burn stacks. Alright, round 2 with these guys. Now you know normally how impossibly hard they are to kill once you get to like the 4th Vial. Just watch how quickly they're going to melt. Done. Good couple of seconds. Absolutely broken. Okay, slow to brittle. Oh, this is going to be so good. The Void King has something called Wound. When we critically strike, there's a 50% chance for all our burn stacks to be doubled. Let's see if we can get it. And then we're also going to get the damage cost frequency, movement speed, and dash upgrade from the Corrupted Void Hunter.
I shall drag him out.
So you can't see the swords. Like I said, they got cunning, so they run to the enemies for us. We don't really have to worry about where the enemy is. As long as it's the enemy we're supposed to focus on, they're going to go there automatically on their own. So we just need to chill. The only thing is it leaves us very vulnerable, because if something walks up to us or whatever the case may be, it becomes very difficult for us to then be like, oh, okay, well, hello, why can't I defeat you? It's because I don't have any skills to actually hit you with. So it does put us in a very vulnerable position, but as long as we are close to our swords, or as long as we keep getting a little bit more area of effect for them, we should be pretty good. And also we need more like block power and things like that. So damage, nice, incinerate, increase the maximum number. We can get more cast frequency there. Grab ourselves. Nope. There's a burn. Merciless. Good. We gotta go defeat Aranak once, so we can get the disarray to disoriented.
Void fragment gathered. He can't hide forever.
There's a big fight over here. I really don't like this corner because I run... Oh wait, this one's not the corner. Okay, this is fine. And this is the final one anyway. It gives us the 4. Beautiful. 16 levels. That's insane. Okay, just need the maximum. I'm going to keep that lock just in case. And I'm also probably going to banish the cast frequency. But burns, health, some block, damage, all the basic stats. This is one of those builds where you do actually want health and you do want the armor and the block. Because, yeah, the more block you have, the better. I think we must get to at least over 70%. We're on 54% right now.
The king has opened my eyes. Allow me to close yours forever.
Okay, over here we said we wanted the damage, cast frequency, movement, and dash count. That's what we grab.
And now, one target. Come out, Void King.
Remember, movement speed helps our character, but it's also going to help our swords run faster to the next enemy or 2 enemies. So that's why we want to grab movement speed as well in this build. That does affect summons just the same way it would affect your character. The only time you don't need movement speed is when you're playing with totems or skills that are static. So totems, or even when you're playing with minions like the archers, the mages, the ones that run around with your actual character, you want movement speed because you want them to stay close to you for as much as possible. Like over here, you see, the more movement speed we get, the faster they're able to move with us. The duration ran out of my swords. That's not very good. But there we go, we multicasted and all 26 of them came back immediately. Also, we're already on 4.9 million prestige. That's nearly a full 170 levels from level 1. So, if you have a level 1 character, you can literally just do this, add the prestigious training from the samurai if you have it, and do a high cycle. You only need, I think, 6 million to go from 1 to 170. Anyone want to tell me how quickly he got defeated there? I wasn't paying attention, you know. Alright, so we're looking for wound. There we go. So critical strikes may apply wound. Wound is going to double the 50% chance to double the effects while wound is active. So that means we're going to get double the amount of burning. Beautiful. And now we're actually going to use this because all of you guys wanted to see how far we could get. I'm going to give it about a 30-minute time limit because I think that's a fair amount of time. But we do so much damage. Now we need to start being careful because as soon as we get hit by something, it takes a whack ton of our HP away. Don't stand in unnecessary poison.
Let's collect more fragments.
You could use this on any character. There's no limit to who you can use this on. You literally just grab the same thing. Instead of weapon expert, you're going to grab skill mastery fire or swing, and you're going to add the skill to it. You run unconventional start, so you can start with the skill, and then you run the 3 runes at the bottom. I think grabbing again the machinist would be very good because of his ascension. You could go legionnaire to get defensive upgrades like your the legionnaire's ascension gives you a whack ton of armor, so that's another option. There's a whole lot that you could grab. Unfortunately for us though, there isn't an upgrade to poison. We're just not getting the bleed to poison. Am I missing something over here? I have 4 sources. We're just not finding bleed to poison. Onto the Vial 8 over here. HP, expansive, armor, unbreakable, HP, armor, armor. So now we're going to work on just defenses, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually going to start banishing unnecessary things. Probably cast frequency being one of them. I mean, what is our cast frequency at? I don't think we need more than what we're on. 3.8 seconds. Okay, we get disarray to disoriented. Fantastic. The blue portal is always going to show up now. Make sure you don't make the mistake and run into it. And now we can go for... Oh, we're going to lose a bit of movement speed. So we'll keep a bit of movement speed because now we're just going to go damage and cast frequency over here. So that is a good reason or a good way for us to not have to worry about it. We could grab artifact power from Misa Hets, but I don't think that's going to help us too much. So we can get rid of the disarray. There's damage increase. We'll keep the dismembered because it does help us. Here's a big one. We'll keep the area of effect for now. And we'll just grab the armor block. We finally get poison. Yes, that's amazing. So that means we can go back to Aranak now, as soon as we get one poison upgrade. There we go. Now we can go to Aranak and we can go and grab ourselves the poison to dazed. Beautiful. It took us so long to get it.
Fragments obtained. Keep moving.
Alright, massive power up coming. Okay. Remember, I don't know why I focused on the poison there. We need to actually just banish them. I don't think we have enough banishes though to worry about them. Also, phone seems to be going crazy this morning. I do apologize about that. Okay, crit, incinerate, beautiful. If we could get even more incinerates, that would be amazing. It's just additional damage for free. And this is why having blocks, dodges, and things like that is important, because you get stuck in corners, take a bit of a whack, and even though we have so much life, it doesn't really help us. So we took the +2 over there. Reroll because we've got so much nonsense now to worry about. We'll take 1 crit poison, but now we can start getting rid of all these other passives that we don't necessarily need. We've kind of just, like, the pool of upgrades we can get now has become so bloated. But it's fine, as you can see. Alright, we wanted to grab Gladiatorial Instinct. We're going to go grab Aranak one more time, and then we can do the Cobalt Brothers because we want to grab as much devastation as possible. Actually, I should have done them first, then gone to Aranak. And then we could have done them again. Because essentially we want to grab as much devastation as possible. Pretty silly of me, I should have done it that way. So what you want to try and do is actually do Cobalt Brothers, do one of the other Titans. Cobalt Brothers, do one of the other Titans. And then keep doing the Cobalt Brothers every single time to grab Devastation, the Devastating Rune upgrade. So you get as much critical damage done when enemies... The 3 times critical damage will get increased further and further and further. And it's just a massive multiplier on top of your damage. So we'll start doing that. We'll probably jump between broken the damage and cast frequency, and I mean, look at that, 1 hit from a normal mob did 100 damage to us, so we need even more armor and defenses. But this is a problem. We keep seeing all these horrible upgrades like multicast we don't need anymore. We do actually need the damage there, so that's fine. Yeah, it's our pool is so bloated now. It is what it is, I guess.
Blood calls to blood, like magic and metal. This mineral is worth the fight indeed. Fragment.
Okay, plus, ooh, a double plus. Burn and incinerate. HP, armor, merciless is good. HP, block. Alright, perfect. Now we can grab Poison to Dazed, which will increase our damage substantially. Another Devastation, more Gladiatorial Instinct, more Devastation, more Gladiatorial Instinct. Okay, not that one, that one. Poison to Dazed, beautiful. Now we go Vulcan Vivault. We might have to turn down the visuals for them or even get even more movement speed for them because they are crazy. We could even end up losing one of our 3 lives to them. But you can already see a vast improvement to our damage. I don't think you guys want me to hover over the Vial just to show you the multipliers that you're going to see. We'll do it when we get to like 10.
Obtained.
By the way, I did say this at the very first time when the 1.0 got released, but if you guys don't enjoy the voiceovers or anything like that, you can actually turn them completely off, so you don't have to listen to the voiceovers, but I think it's a nice addition. Oh, we got whacked. Ow. That hurt a lot. Okay, we need even more HP, it would seem. More movement speed. We get a rotting, but we're going to go for the +1 there. Cast frequency. Wow, just 1 hit did that much damage to us. Okay, if we're able to defeat these, just get to the end of the round without taking any more damage, we will be able to survive. So just make sure we can do that. There's a fight over here. Perfect. So we should fully heal now. Grab ourselves damage. Guess poison, burn, burn. Let's add a bit of burn doing damage. We can add a bit more crit actually. Full heal, 800 HP. This is going to be scary, so I just want to focus on actually surviving. So we're turning visuals right down. Okay, looks like I have enough movement speed just to run away from them. Oh, I got caught on something. Holy moly. Okay, that was scary. Okay, there's devastation, so it's 600%. That's literally 3 times more damage now. And now we focus on going for Brokenth. And then the Kobolds again.
I bring the blade. The Void King brings the challenge. Blood calls to blood.
Where did they go? Bosses spawned, a blade saw them, and they get annihilated.
Progress. Let's collect more fragments.
Moving up to this area over here. This is a very scary area to have gone to, but it's fine. We've got 5 dashes. If you dash constantly, you should be able to permanently dodge.
The protection will break.
So you can do that. Obviously it's very hard to do and I don't have it perfected. But as you can see, we can dodge pretty much all of the time. And dodging does have a slight iframe to it, so you are able to dodge damage doing this.
Progress. Let's collect more fragments. Void fragment claimed. The protection.
So we didn't get hurt that time. Armor, block, armor. Merciless is good here. Damage, block. Merciless, summoned. I'm going to use my mouse, guys. Sorry, I'm so used to not doing it. I'm not going to grab Doom. There's nothing that comes from the game that Doom can use that benefits us and the build we're currently using. And as soon as... Ooh, that was so close.
One step closer.
That was so close to running in there. I wonder if we can actually grab more Shattered. I think we've got so many Shattered already. Whenever you burn an enemy, it explodes, multiplying the total. Let's just grab one of these, because I think for area of effect clearing, it could be very, very strong. And we grab another Incinerate. So what we did is we grabbed one of the Sandscale Rats. So that means that we get, every time someone that's burning dies, they explode, dealing some of the burn damage around them. So I think that's going to be very strong for clearing out some of the trash. Especially when you've got like a boss next to them. So I think it just helps with clearing out areas. Makes it a bit safer for us. At least that's what I'm hoping it does.
Blood calls to blood. I'm closing in.
Feels like it's working. Okay, not doing you.
Fragments obtained. Keep moving. Void fragment claimed. The protection will break. Piece by piece, the path of treasure worth.
We don't... Okay, wait, there was a +2 that popped up here. Perfect. That's bosses, just what we need. Grab the block there and the +2 to our swords, of course. The bosses, they just melt. It's so beautiful to see. The only problem we have right now is the only other things we've got are down here and down there. Oh wait, another one spawned right here. I like when that happens, but I'd prefer it if it tells me that it's happening. Okay, fantastic. Guys, 26 minutes and we've hit the +11. Another plus, armor, incinerate, damage, max +1, armor, block. We need as much block and armor as possible. Because I have a feeling as soon as we get touched, we are going to lose a lot of HP. Okay, the little guy's gone. He is quite dangerous. Probably a lot more dangerous than the big guy. And we got hit by 1 skill, guys. 1 skill, and that's how much damage it did to us. The problem is he keeps moving. So our swords have to keep relocating to hit him. So very dangerous. That was +11 for us. We'll do 1 more with the devastating. And then we can call it. I did mention a 30-minute time limit. So we are on +11. We're going to go do Brokenth 1 more time. And I want you to see just... just look at the scaling. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Just let that damage sink in right there. The HP enemy scaling. That's ridiculous. Okay, let's see.
Piece by piece, the path unfolds.
Luckily, Broken doesn't move a lot, so the swords are quite good at, you know, doing what they need to do to him. I don't want to do that number 1 up there in the corner. It restricts our movement speed too much. And this is the last one. And this will be the furthest I've ever gone, ladies and gentlemen. So it's actually much faster. If you want to go further, you can do this on 0. So it doesn't have to be +3 Sigil of the Void. If you do it on the 0 Sigil of the Void, then they'll have less damage, less movement speed, attack speed, and all that. So, you know, there is that as well. And just remember, we've been scaling quite a lot of like life and block and things like that as well. I mean, 900 life. And we still got 1 tapped. So just know it happens. Okay, can you stand still for me? Thank you very much. Make sure we don't stand inside the circle. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, normally people stop doing this when they lose. But unfortunately for us, we're not going to do that. I'm going to just increase that. It doesn't really matter. Here is our massive army. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's see how much damage we did and go from there. 11.1 QA damage. That's the highest I think I've ever done. We landed up getting ourselves 1.7 million of these. Like I mentioned before, Titan Hunt is not good for Soulstones collected. However, even enemies defeated wasn't that much, but a whack ton of resources. So resources gained is a massive amount, which is fantastic. Where was prestige? 12.1 million. So that's about 200 levels on a character from level 1. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.